First of all, we have been conditioned to perceive things in a society that is dominated by social media, that is dominated by television, movies, music. These things have shaped our perspectives on things so that we look at things more so as a collective. It takes a stronger mind. Obviously, someone like yourself, myself, Hanif, takes a stronger mind to break away from that and actually formulate their own opinion. And when you really get down to it, perception is voiced by your opinion. Okay. So if you don't actually have an opinion, if you are a member of the flock who is simply listening to what others have to say and going along with it, basically regurgitating the mass message that is expected to drive us in a certain direction, then you don't really have your own perspective. You don't have you're not utilizing your perception because you're not formulating your own idea of what you saw, heard, smelled, touched, tasted.
And you know, perception is big because it's really how we define everything in life.
Right. And to
Yeah,
me, to go back on something Thomas said, it was we we make our own decisions, but at the same time, like you have to gain your own perspective. It's just basically an opinion, and I don't think it's a right or wrong perception. You know what I'm saying? It's all from your opinion.
well, it's not necessarily right or wrong, but is it productive? Is it is it productive or is it counterproductive? Those are the things that we need to look at. We don't need to look at simply right and wrong. Everything is not black and white, even though right now in America that's what they would want you to believe.
No,
Okay.
that's real. That's, I mean, y'all doing it. You know, y'all honing in on the topic, because just because you perceive it doesn't make it right or wrong. It's about, like you said, is it productive? Are we producing something that's positive from this? Because we got a lot of perceptions out here. Like, and what we was talking about in the previous episodes is like how we've normalized behaviors. Like we've normalized how we interact with each other through our own perceptions, right? Through our own opinions of life. We normalize pettiness, ugliness. We haven't normalized expression. We haven't normalized, reconciling. So we really have a perception that that's not important. That's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to share a quote that I read while I was preparing for this. It says, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves.
Hmm.
And if you really stop and think about that for a second, you can see things like if you're the type of person who is quick to anger, then it takes very little for someone to hit that trigger. Okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that was what they were aiming at. It simply was something that struck you in that manner, and it should shed a light on you to look back at yourself and see, well, why did that make me angry?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the topic right there. Is like, we want to look at why we perceive things the way we perceive them. We want to look at why we feel the way we feel. So,
Is there any information that you are aware of that talks about self-perception?
yes, I mean, that's all of the information that, I like to look at myself as your favorite mental health coach. And all of this information about self perception is really self awareness. It's self awareness. It's the core root of social emotional learning, emotional intelligence. It's the core root of emotional literacy. So perceiving and self perception is something that is major. It is major. Self awareness. So understanding, you know, who I am and how I interact with the world is, you know, it's pivotal. is monumental, because when we hear that term, oh, that person lost, and they're not self-aware, they're not perceiving that the things that they're doing may be off key, maybe off kilter. Like they don't have the perception that I'm harming someone, or that my actions aren't going to benefit me in a positive way. So we gotta get this information on social emotional learning. And it starts with self-awareness. That's the root of building a better person and building a better society, is self first before we can really do anything else. We have to build that perception and positive perceptions, right? So within ourselves and within society.